Hi again, everybody. It's time for your news break from the pages of the paper of Montgomery County. I'm Frank Phillips reporting. Be sure to check out the commemorative edition of the class of 2012, our graduation insert that's in today's edition of the paper of Montgomery County. In news today, Wabash College President Patrick E. White has announced that he will step down as the college's 15th president in June 2013. Dr. White has just concluded his 6th year at the helm of the private liberal arts college for men. He told members of the Board of Trustees that he believes the timing is right for him to leave the institution. The presidential leadership of the next phase in the life of the college will require a commitment that exceeds a few years, Dr. White said. As we successfully conclude our current strategic plan and lay the groundwork for the next planning process, it is clear that the leadership required will span at least a decade. When we come back, firefighters retire number 26, and Montgomery County Economic Development has hired a director of public relations. I'm Frank Phillips reporting. More after this.
Bad wrecks happen to good people. That's why people take their wrecks to the good people at Gould's Body and Paint in Crawfordsville. Gould's will work with your insurance company to provide an accurate quote of your needed repairs. Then the iCar Gold Class specialists take over, restoring your vehicle to good as new. Gould's will service any make, any model, any type, or amount of damage. Just remember our motto. At Gould's Body and Paint, our business is a wreck.
At Zon's Floor Covering, we don't offer washers, paint, or lumber. Floor covering is our expertise for your home or office. At Zon's Floor Covering, we offer luxurious styles of carpeting and realistic-looking vinyl patterns, and we do it better than anyone else. You'll fall in love with the possibilities at Zon's, all backed by professional installation, superior personal service, and our 3-year installation warranty. Stop by Zon's today and see why we want to be everywhere you are.
And we're back. The fire trucks were parked outside Thursday afternoon. The memories and love for a deceased firefighter inside Station Number 1 were too great to allow much else inside the building. Crew members and friends of firefighter Joe Mitten gathered in silence as his number 26 was retired, and his widow, Renee, and her children were presented with a framed letter and a Bible. They watched as some of Mitten's gear, bearing his name and number, forever housed in a shadow box display case, was unveiled on the wall, where it will serve as a silent reminder that firefighters aren't immortal, just some of the best people on earth, as Fire Chief Larry Patton reminded those gathered. Mayor Todd Barton presented the letter from International Association of Firefighters General President Harold A. Schaetberger to Barton. Dear Mayor Barton, it began, Fire Inspector Joseph W. Mitten, who died in the line of duty on February 7, 2012, was a member of the Crawfordsville Fire Department in your community. He sacrificed his life in an act of courage, humanitarianism, and selfless devotion to duty. We want you to know that the loss suffered by your membership and the community is shared by the 298,000 members of the International Association of Firefighters. We join with you in conveying our sincere condolences to the family of Fire Inspector Mitten. Mitten passed away after a long illness. On one occasion, he attended a blood drive held in his honor in the fire station. That day, many people were reminded of the need to give blood. Barton also presented Renee Mitten with a Bible and read a proclamation proclaiming Saturday as Joe Mitten Day in Crawfordsville. The significance was that all Crawfordsville firefighters have numbers starting with 5, explained Assistant Chief Jim Fullwider Wednesday evening. Mitten's individual number was 26, so on 5/26, that is May 26, Crawfordsville will honor Mitten's memory and his service to the city. Barton, who was a career firefighter, said this presentation on behalf of his old friend was the hardest one yet. Barton said he and Mitten joined the fire department about the same time. Fire Chief Larry Patton and Assistant Fire Chief Jim Fullwider also spoke during the ceremony. I'm just so appreciative Renee Mitten said when asked what the ceremony meant to her, appreciative of the family that the fire department continues to be. He was such a good man. He would tell you, though, that he didn't deserve it, no more than any of the others here. And we express our condolences to the Mitten family, both the family and also his extended family in the firefighting department. The Montgomery County Economic Development Board has decided to hire a director of public relations and will hold off hiring an executive director until its comprehensive plan is complete, said Board President Rusty Carter on Thursday. Deanna Durrett will become the new public relations director. Durrett's job will be to maintain communications with county and city government, local businesses, prospective industries, and the community. Deanna brings to us a lot of abilities, a lot of talent, and I feel very strongly fulfill our need as we look forward, Carter said. Carter declined to say how much she will be paid, but did say that MCED has funds available and the organization has not been paying an executive director since Bill Henderson, who was paid about $60,000 annually, left earlier this year. Carter said Durrett's new job, which she said she anticipates beginning next week, will last until the end of the year. Mayor Todd Barton has said he wants to see a professional with recent economic development success made the executive director of MCED. As far as Durrett's appointment goes, quite a lot was put into that decision to make Durrett the director of public relations. We needed someone who knows the local community, who could communicate with prospects. None of the officials to whom we spoke or Durrett seemed to think that her stand against the Winston Smith LLC company during the recent election campaign for county commissioner would make any difference. Durrett came out against the Winston Smith company coming to Montgomery County shortly after it was announced by Henderson and MCED. We had met with this company and our impression was that any great concerns we had were put to rest, Barton said. There was more to it than her campaign. During the campaign, Durrett expressed fears that Winston Smith would shred metal at one of the doorways to Crawfordsville. On Thursday, she agreed that had been a concern, but one of my fundamental concerns was that the announcement was made by MCED before we knew very much about the company. There was no information available when I was searching as a private citizen. When Carter was asked if Durrett's former opposition to the Winston Smith company would be a problem, he first said he was not aware of any concerns about what Durrett called a car shredding operation. We can write a negative story or a positive story, Carter said. That's my comment. I think hiring Durrett is a positive thing, said Crawfordsville City Council President Heather Perkins. Obviously, the secretary can't attend all the meetings and handle all the business. Perkins was asked if MCED will be able to afford the type of economic development expert they want. She said a search is underway for additional money to hire such a person. Currently, MCED is financed almost entirely by contributions from the city and county. Henderson was paid $60,000 per year. City and county officials have said they doubt they can get the services of the person they want for that amount of money. Montgomery County Councilman Tom Utley praised the decision to hire Durrett for public relations, calling her a professional woman. Durrett said she was delighted to accept the position. I am quite excited, she said. This is a great opportunity. The timing is very good. MCED has changed its way of working and has set new goals. There is teamwork and collaboration with the broader community. I hope this plays a significant role in the future. If you recall, my whole campaign for county commissioner was wrapped around economic development. And we have one more story to share with you. Actually, a couple stories to share with you. The next one is found on page A2 today. 2 local volunteers were honored Thursday at the Montgomery County Community Foundation's annual meeting in the MCCF offices on Main Street in Crawfordsville. Jan Sears was selected as Adult Volunteer of the Year for her service to the Hub Ministry. In a letter of nomination, Brenda Deckard remarked that a special gift Jan brings to her work is the ability to listen with understanding, heightened with compassion. And there was a Youth Volunteer of the Year who was named as well. Turning to page A4, his name is Alan Johnson, who works with the Boys and Girls Club, and he received the Peggy Herzog Award. And you can read more about that in the news story on this website, or you can pick up your copy of the paper of Montgomery County. Bill Harrington believes he has enough investors lined up to purchase the Crawfordsville power plant. Harrington plans to bring the investors to Crawfordsville next week to tour the plant, said CEL&P manager Phil Good on Thursday. The Utility Service Board and CEL&P has not received any of the earnest money that Harrington had promised the last we talked to Phil Good. Mayor Todd Barton plans to meet with city residents from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Tuesday at Allen's Country Kitchen at the corner of Main and Washington Streets in Crawfordsville, he announced on Thursday. And an autographed Indy racing helmet was auctioned off for $500, which will support IndyCar ministry. The helmet was sponsored by Savvy Chic Salons of Crawfordsville and Revolution's Bowling Center of Frankfort. Now look at Weatherby's 3-degree guarantee. Weatherby says the high today will be 88 and partly cloudy. As we're recording this, it's very cloudy outside and the temperature is rising. If Weatherby is off by more than 3 degrees, send us an email at Weatherby, that's WEATHERBY, at thepaper24-7.com, and you might win a prize. Now, let's flip over to page A5 for a look at local sports. Our sports editor, Ross Flint, reports, the tradition continues. A week after winning the sectional championship, extending his family streak to 5 years in a row after his brother won 4 straight, Southmont freshman high jumper Jason Christensen is headed to the state finals. He qualified after coming in 3rd in the Lafayette Jeff Regional with the best jump of 6 feet 3 inches. The top 3 competitors advance in each event. He will be joined in Bloomington by North Montgomery's Dakota Ramey, who placed 2nd in the discus. Ramey's best effort was 149 feet 8 inches. And Ross reports, coming into Thursday's Montgomery County meet, Southmont boys golf coach Bob Young felt pretty confident that his team could win the championship. With Taylor Montz and Garrett Lowe as his top 2 players, he felt they could make a difference compared to Crawfordsville's and North Montgomery's top 2. It turned out Young was right. Southmont did win the county championship at Rocky Ridge Golf Course, shooting a .346 as a team, and the Mounties did so in part because Montz and Lowe led the way. With Taylor and Garrett and knowing they're capable of shooting an 80 or below, that gives us a decent advantage, Young said. And that's a brief look at news, weather, and sports from the pages of the paper of Montgomery County. Be sure and pick up your copy today, and be sure and check out the class of 2012. There's probably some young people in there you know. It's a commemorative edition of our graduation publication. For the paper of Montgomery County, I'm Frank Phillips reporting. You have an outstanding day and an outstanding Memorial Day weekend. God bless our troops.